welcome to Storytime with Lee County Library System. My name is Miss Denise and I work at the North Fort Myers branch. Today we're going to be singing and rhyming and listening to a story and sharing an early literacy tip or two. The program will last about 25 minutes and I'm glad you're here watching with me and sharing this with me. Well, today's story time is all about birds. Now, before we get started, I thought we'd warm up with a hello song. You ready? We're gonna wave. It says, hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Now, let's stretch our fingers with open your hands, close your hands. You ready? Open your hands, close your hands. Open your hands, close your hands. Give your hands a clap. Give your hands a clap. Open your hands, close your hands. Open your hands, close your hands. Lay them in your lap. Now, as I said, story time today is all about birds. So what I did was to put some pictures of birds on the board. Now, I'm going to ask you to identify them with me. Okay, I'll point to a bird, and then you tell me the name of the bird. You ready? Who is this bird? That's right, it's a duck. And can you make a duck sound with me? Quack, quack, quack. Good. Do you know this bird, this pretty red bird here? This is a cardinal. You might see him in your backyard. Let's try to whistle a little bit like a cardinal. You ready? And who's this? Is that a chicken? It is. You might see a chicken in a farmyard. And what kind of noise does a chicken make? Cluck, 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 cluck. Who's this? That's an owl. And owls stay awake at night. They're what we call nocturnal. Can you say that word? Nocturnal. That means they're up at night. And let's make the sound of an owl. It goes kind of like this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Good job. All right. Oh, who's this beautiful bird here? That's an eagle. And you know what? We have a famous eagle here in North Fort Myers where I work, and her name is Harriet. Maybe you've seen her. Can you soar like an eagle? Good job. And who's this guy here? Have you seen him in your backyard? No. Is that a penguin? It is. Can you walk like a penguin? You flap your wings like a penguin and walk like this? Good job. Well, you know, there are a few things that all birds share in common. And I'm going to scoot over here and talk to you now. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Put your thinking caps back on first. Let's everybody put your thinking cap on. Okay, and I'll ask you a question and you say yes or no. Do all birds have feathers? Yes, all birds have feathers. And do all birds have beaks? They do. All birds have a beak or a bill. Do all birds have wings? They do. Yes, all birds have wings. Do all mama birds lay eggs? They do. All mama birds lay eggs. Do all birds fly? No. There are a few birds, like our penguin, who do not fly. You did a good job with that. Well, I think it's time for a rhyme about a particular bird called the blackbird. This is an old rhyme. It's two little blackbirds. Okay, you ready? Let's take our thumbs and put them up on our shoulders. All right. Two little blackbirds sitting on a hill. One named Jack and one named Jill. Fly away, Jack. Fly away, Jill. Come back, Jack. Come back, Jill. Two little blackbirds soaring in the sky. One named Low and one named High. Fly away, Low. Fly away, High. Come back, Low. Come back, High. Two little blackbirds just taking flight. One named Heavy and one named Light. Fly away, Heavy. Fly away, Light. Come back, Heavy. Come back, Light. Good job. I think it's time now for a rhyme about chickens. You ready? This is 10 fluffy chickens. Okay, I'm going to use both hands for this. You ready? 5 eggs and 5 eggs. That makes 10. Sitting on top is Mother Hen. Crackle, crackle, crackle. What do I see? 10 fluffy chickens, as yellow as can be. Let's do that one more time. You ready? 5 eggs and 5 eggs. That makes 10. Sitting on top is Mother Hen. Crackle, crackle, crackle. What do I see? 10 fluffy chickens, as yellow as can be. I think it's time for a story. Have you ever heard the story of the Little Red Hen? This is an old fairy tale, and it's one of my favorite. Once upon a time, there was a little red hen. I have my puppet friends with me today. There was a little red hen, and she lived on a farm with her best friends, the duck, cat, and the dog. Well, the little red hen loved her friends, but the truth is they could be kind of lazy sometimes. And the little red hen was very hardworking. So one day, she was out in the field and she came across some grains of wheat. She got so excited, she said, "Oh, this is wheat." She said, "We could plant this wheat and take care of it, harvest it, and make some bread." So she went rushing back to the barn there, and she said to her friends, "Look, I've got wheat. We can make bread." And she said, "Who will help me plant the wheat?" And the duck said, "Quack, quack, not I. I'm swimming in the pond." And the cat said, "Meow, meow, not me. I'm lying in the sun." And the dog said, "Ruff, ruff, not me. I'm chasing squirrels." So she said, well, first she sighed. Can you sigh with me? "All right, I'll do it myself." And she did. She planted the wheat. So before long, she and her chicks took care of the wheat. They would water it and weed the field. And before long, the wheat started to grow tall. So she said to her friends, "Who will help me cut the wheat?" And the duck said, "Quack, quack, not I." And the cat said, "Meow, meow, not I." And the dog said, "Ruff, ruff, not I." So she said, "All right, I'll do it myself." Well, the next step is a process they call threshing, which is kind of confusing to me, but they clean the wheat up a little bit. So she said to her friends, "Who will help me thresh the wheat?" So the duck said, "Quack, quack, 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 not I." And the cat said, "Meow, meow, And the dog said, "Ruff, ruff, not I." So she said, "All right, I'll thresh it myself." So, before too much longer, it was time to take the wheat to the mill to be ground into flour. And she said, "Who will take this wheat to the mill with me?" And of course the duck said, "What? Quack, quack, not I." And the cat said, "Meow, meow, not I." And the dog said, "Ruff, ruff, not I." So she said, "All right, I'll take it to the mill myself." And she did. Well, when she came back from the mill, she said, "Who would like to help me make this bread?" And of course the duck said, "What? Quack, quack, not I." And the cat said, "Meow, meow, not I." And the dog said, "Ruff, ruff, not I." She said, "All right, I'll do it myself." So she made the bread and she put it in the oven to bake. And you know what? Before long, who do you suppose showed up? Who do you think showed up? They started to smell that bread, the scents from the nice bread coming from the oven. And all of a sudden, the little red hen starts to hear murmuring. They're saying, that smells good." So when the bread was baked, the little red hen took it out of the oven and she said, "Who will help me eat this bread?" And the duck said, "Quack, quack, I will." And the cat said, "Meow, meow, I will." And the dog said, "Ruff, ruff, I will." And she said, "No, my little chicks and I will eat it ourselves. We did all the hard work and we will eat it ourselves." And they did. So that is the story of the Little Red Hen. Although you know what I heard after this? The next time the Little Red Hen decided to make bread, all three of her friends decided to help. So when you work hard, you get the rewards from that hard work. Okay, well thank you. You listened very well for that story. That was kind of a long one. I think we could make some bread, just like the Little Red Hen did. And this is a rhyme that I think all of you know. You all know patty cake, right? Only this time, since we made bread, we're going to use bread. So it's going to be patta bread, patta bread. You ready? Okay. Patta bread, baker's man. Bake me some bread as fast as you can. Roll it and pat it and mark it with a B. And put it in the oven for baby and me. You know, in that rhyme, we use the letter B a lot. So I brought the letter B with me. I brought the letter B with me here somewhere. Somewhere I have the letter B, and we are going to, cut it, Chris. I'm sitting on the letter B. I'm going to put the letter B on the board and you can trace it with me. You ready? You can trace it in the air. Okay. B. And do you know what kind of sound the letter B makes? You can say ba, 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 ba. Good job. That rhyme had a lot of B's. We had baby and bread and baker man. And you know what? Today's story time is all about birds. That's another B word. All right. I think we should have a rhyme about ducks. What do you say? Do you know 5 little ducks? Okay, let's do that rhyme. Okay, we're going to use 5 fingers on this hand, and then this hand is going to be the mother duck. Okay, you ready? 5 little ducks went out one day, over the hill and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 but only 4 little ducks came back. Four little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 but only three little ducks came back. Three little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 but only two little ducks came back. Two little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 but only one little duck came back. One little duck went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 but none of the five little ducks came back. Poor Mother duck went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 and all of the five little ducks came back. Good job. You know, I think we have time for just one more rhyme, and that is called The Wise Old Owl. Okay? And I brought with me today my owl puppet. But you won't have an owl puppet necessarily, but you can use your hand. Let's put a branch out like so. All right, this is the wise old owl. The wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we all be like that wise old bird? We've always said that owls are wise and we should listen to them. It's so important to listen. Now, thank you for joining me for Storytime today with Lee County Library System. We learned some literacy tips today. We practiced the letter B, those practicing letter sounds, and we even traced the letter B. Practicing letter sounds is so important in learning to read. And we also had lots of rhyming and repetition, which are all great reading skills. I'd love for you to join us next week for Storytime. We'll have Storytime presented, and I invite you to take a look at leelibrary.net to enjoy more of what Lee County has to offer. Thank you very much.